good street, we never walked it. You never held my hand as we crossed it. We never stopped along here to light a cigarette. This is a good street. This is a good house. It wasn't our home. You never scuffed your heel on this threshold. I never waited for you by the window. This is a good house. This is a good room. You never slept here. You can't betray the faith that is kept here. And no more tears will be wept here. This is a good room. This is a good bed. We never laid here. You can't erase the love that was made here. And love that's love will not fade here. This is a good bed.
Hey, it's Robert. We're at the 9:30 Club here in Washington, D.C. Finally get a show in after a couple of nice days off. Everybody got their batteries recharged a little bit. I think it's going to be a good show here tonight. Really cozy, very small place, as you can see. Had a few interesting things happen today that we're going to share with you. We had a little bit of a mishap with the opening act bus and truck, apparently, and the opening act is using all hired back line gear today. And I thought it might be a good opportunity. Matter of fact, it's a great opportunity to kind of introduce you what we're doing with the opening act on S3L. We have one out here. I have an S3L out here that I'm using to do some recording, as I've mentioned earlier. Some of the surround recording, my 2-track records, etc. And given that we had an opening act out, we thought it was crazy just not to take advantage of that S3L and use it for the opening act as well, since we already had it integrated into our snake system, etc. So luckily for them, we did have that today, because the band that's opening for us, Shelters, usually carry their own little monitor system, their own little in-ear monitor system. And obviously that didn't make it as well today, because since their gear didn't make it because of truck breakdown or bus breakdown, whatever it was, their ear rack didn't make it either. So Andrew, using virtual sound check today, actually pulled together a complete set of ear monitor mixes on the console to get ready for them to come into the show and do a sound check. So they just spent about the last hour kind of getting it all sorted out. I think we'll talk to Andrew a little bit and find out about how he's doing it, how he set it up on the console, because it was a bit of a lifesaver today for them. We certainly weren't prepared to put them on the regular split and get them into our front of house console and monitor system, even though we could have done it if we would have really been pressed to do it. It would have made for a very, very hard day. But the fact that Andrew was able to build that session on the S3L and be able to facilitate both monitors and front of house on the console today absolutely saved the day. So we'll get a few words in from Andrew. We'll kind of show you what he's got going on there, and that'll be today's video blog from Washington, D.C. Hope you guys all are having fun watching these, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right, we're here with my good man Andrew Dowling, my assistant on the tour, who's also mixing front of house for Shelters, actually mixing front of house and monitors for Shelters today. So Andrew, give us a little bit of the rundown on what happened today.
Well, they're thinking their alternator wanted to keep them in Cincinnati, so their vehicle with their trailer is in Cincinnati. They ended up lucking out because they were doing a fly date to San Diego, which meant that although their vehicle's there, they have all their main guitars and their pedal boards. So rental backline, we carried most of the microphones as part of our touring package, so they're in there. So I have the microphones, basically all new backline, and then they have their own in-ear rig and in-ear setup, which is in their trailer. That's sitting in Cincinnati. So today we got to add, I basically had to redo my session because I had stereo groups instead of mono groups, and so I made the session into mono groups and gave myself all the auxes and went back through and made stereo ear mixes for the 4 guys on stage. Basically, the cool part was we've been doing a bunch of shows with them, so we have the multi-track recordings, and I was able to virtual sound check, and they don't show up and they don't get sound check time until 5 o'clock basically for 6 o'clock doors, starting ears from scratch plus a sound check. I was basically able to rough in most of the stuff using the virtual, give them an ear mix, and they all kind of go, yeah, yeah, yeah. We were close. Hey, with all rented backline, I was swapping some tones around and trying to figure out exactly, yeah. Basically, the two guitar players, one of them's usually bright, one of them's usually dark. Of course, their amps today make them the opposite, so little stuff like that had to change around, but it put me in 1,000 times better starting place than if they would have just shown up without an ear mix dialed at all. I think we got them on and off the stage in 25 minutes, so yeah.
So, Andrew, why don't you take us through, show us what you did on the console to facilitate kind of doing front of house and monitors from the same console.
So one of the things that I like doing is, hey, my front of house mix has been kind of standing up well so far. So I had all my front of house channels and they're on the first layer. And the first thing I did is I duplicated all those channels to the second layer. And you can see, minus a couple naming flaws, I have M in front of all of them, which signifies that it's a monitor-specific channel. And so all of these channels are not routed to the PA, are not routed to any of the groups, so they, even if I screw up and push the fader up, they're not going anywhere. But they have the same head amp as all the other channels. So kick in is kick in on the main layer and on this layer, same head amp. But this one I can EQ slightly differently. Hey, drummers are usually driven nuts by the gates and stuff, so I drop the gate from that, but still get the tone shaping I need. Hey, if they want a little change in the ears, and the ears obviously sound a little different than front of house. Ears don't do as well with as much low end, they don't do as well with as much low mid, so I can make those adjustments, and I can send that to the ears. I just have to remember to go to layer B when I'm trying to send it to their mix.
So are you getting double paid today, Andrew? Is that,
Sure. Yeah, that's how it always works when you're helping a friend out. Now, to be fair, these guys are tipping me out, and they have been really, really easy and really, really nice to work with. Yeah. So I got no issues with helping them out, and they're really grateful for us coming together. I mean, Team Backline today for Mudcrutch also jumped in and helped them out with some instruments and some cabling and the necessary bits. So I think, yeah, one of the guys tuned the drums for them, so they basically walked in with rental backline that's been teched for them, which is probably better than they normally get. So yeah, so that, I mean, that helped a lot. But yeah,
really, really clever and well done. You're doing a great job out here. It sounds really great with those guys. Just don't make it sound too good. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Just be careful, my man. Just be careful. All right, Andrew, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate you being here and taking that on today. That was really awesome. I hope they appreciate what you actually did for them today. So thanks again. All right, well, that finishes us off for Washington, D.C. Really nice night tonight at 930 Club. Really great crowd tonight. Boy, that was a really, really good crowd. Tom seemed to be very connected to him tonight. It was pretty cool. All right, we're off to Philly for the new Fillmore. Should be a pretty cool place, so we'll check in with you tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have a nice easy day tomorrow, and who knows? I don't know, I'm gonna get some sleep. I don't know about you guys, but it was a long day. All right, we'll see you. Bye-bye.